edition. It is, as the graphic indicated, going to be the Bro Down Brady Gronk show, I believe. And here's why. Nick Foles is not a very good quarterback. We're going to have to hear ad nauseum about how he won against Tom Brady in the fucking Super Bowl. Like those 3 touchdowns that weren't touchdowns any other time that year didn't help him at all. Or the helmet to helmet that not Cook's Tom's only receiver because Edelman was out that year. Yeah, that didn't help either, you know. Or the fact that the fucking defense couldn't force a punt the entire game and Brady broke every single Super Bowl passing record there was to break and still lost. You know that's sticking in Brady's head. You know he's juiced up for this shit. We'll get there. There's a lot of injuries to his receiving core, but he's definitely the better quarterback. The Bears have an edge on defense, but Tampa's been playing really good, real stout against the run especially. Nick Foles has been averaging a very porous, I think he's around 6 yards per attempt. It's trash. You got Allen Robinson, the only guy bailing you out, making you even look functional. So who knows what they're doing. I will have a little bit of Nick Foles stacks to be contrarian because the majority of the field will be going with TB12, but mostly I'm going TB12. If I had one entry, I would probably have Tom Brady in that entry. Let's go to running back. Running back's going to be interesting this week. As I had said, the Buccaneers have a very stout run defense. Montgomery not getting a lot of targets. Kind of a, not necessarily the best game script for a guy who's not getting a lot of targets in the receiving game. You get that full point per reception on DraftKings really helps when you're not finding the end zone. I will use him here and there, but he's really not a priority at that price point. They are kind of pivoting to Ryan Nall all the way down here. He looks to be more the third down, Tyreek Cohen kind of back. There's some talk of Cordero Patterson as well, who's actually a wide receiver, but he's really like a gadget play guy and a return guy, so not a lot of interest in him. If I had him, I would probably make a build where I have like the Bears defense and him together, implying he might return one. I just not a lot of interest in that. I did win, I did win 10th place or whatever with the Kansas City Chiefs in the captain spot on Monday, but that's because I knew they were making the Patriots travel and play on the same day with a backup quarterback who's trash and a guy behind him who's never played. So that was not a difficult decision to take a risk on. Normally, I don't recommend putting defense and special teams in the captain spot, though. Certainly not against this team. Ronald Jones looks to be the guy I'll probably get the most of on running back. He is getting a lot of targets and a lot of touches. You got Fournette and LaShawn McCoy both injured this week. So look for him to get it going. I love Keyshawn Vaughn for some cheap value. Brady went to him 3 targets last game. Only 3 rushes, but that could be more. He could be more involved now. He got some good targets, though. He almost got in the end zone and won. So definitely like that for some value to make my lineup a little different. That's the thing. I mean, like last night, would have won $2,500 on that $3 entry, but I was holding hands with 20 fucking people. Finding a way that you can realistically get the fantasy point per dollar that you need production that's a little more unique is always beneficial. That's why I always recommend leaving a little bit of money on the table. At wide receiver, Allen Robinson is the greatest wide receiver who never had a halfway decent quarterback to throw the ball on. That's still the case. He is getting a bunch of targets, but he's also pretty expensive. I will probably try to get him in the bring back groups because I'll probably heavily stack the other team. You'll always want to have a bring back. So if I have Scotty Miller or Mike Evans or Gronk or anybody like that in the captain, I got TB12 and another target, I will probably bring it back with Allen Robinson. Mike Evans is questionable. He has a sprained ankle. He still managed to get 28 points last game. We'll have to see. Godwin's definitely not playing. Neither is their third string guy. Neither is the fourth wide receiver in their depth chart. So with Scotty Miller is questionable with a groin injury. Looks like him and Evans are trending towards playing. So I like them both. And then I'm not going to go anywhere near Anthony Miller. He is actually, there's Patterson, like I was talking about before, maybe for a gadget play, for some value. Definitely not on FanDuel, but on DraftKings, maybe. Tedgin can suck an entire barrel of monkey cock. He is not even really doing, he's not doing shit. But this guy, well, let's do it. Let's organize this a little better if we can. Tyler Johnson. Okay? Tyler Johnson is probably going to step into the third wide receiver role in Tampa Bay. He's $200. We always see these fucking guys come out of nowhere, these fucking jabronis. It's always a fullback, a tight end 3, a wide receiver 5. They catch that touchdown and get another catch. They blow open the game. You need it in your optimal lineup if you want to win the tournament. So I will look to that as a little different. I feel like they're missing a receiver in this fucking thing, aren't they? By the way, sometimes I'm drinking good booze on this channel. That's Cavado Oro Extra Nano, 9 years. Amazing. Nectar of the fucking gods. Doesn't even taste like alcohol, really. I mean, it lets you know you're alive, but goddamn if that isn't smooth. I don't know what do they do with this guy? I am confused, Draft Dashboard. I am confused. Anyway, moving on. At tight end, at the top, the ageless wonder, Jimmy Graham. He is running a crap ton of routes, still getting targets. You see his range of outcomes right here, 24 being the high, 3 being the low. I would expect they lean on him a little bit more in this game. Coming out of the slot, I think he's 69% of the snaps. I'm pretty sure he's running routes on like 61% of those 69% that he's in. So I like some of that as a target. I would say the Gronkening is more than likely going to happen in this game. He's getting more and more snaps. He's running more routes. He's just not getting as many targets. But with Evans possibly not playing, Scotty Miller banged up, no fucking Godwin, you can expect that he's going to get some looks. Same thing with Brate. Brate obviously got the target for the TD this weekend, but they do run a lot of 12 personnel by the red zone, so not a bad, cheaper, all kind of contrarian play. Demetrius Harris. Look, this guy's getting targets. He's cheap. He's going to be the alternative to Jimmy Graham. So not on FanDuel, but on DraftKings. It makes sense at that price if you need some value and you don't want to go anywhere else. Kickers. Not a lot of interest this week. If I were to pick one, I'd probably pick the fucking Chicago one. Not because I think they're going to score a lot of points, but because I think they'll have less, it'll be less likely for them to score touchdowns. And, on DraftKings, you get that bonus based on the range. I'm not going near any of this. I might play a little Buccaneers defense with Rojo, but mostly I'm going to do a sea of Bucks, because who gives a fucks, right? Yeah, sea of Bucks with a bring back from the Bears. Let's make some lineups. All right. Who's am I excluded? Maybe that's why. Oh, yeah, that's the problem. Mooney. That was the fucking guy. Mooney. That's the guy who's out snapping. All right, my bad, folks. Yeah, this guy is out snapping Miller at the slot, this Darnell Mooney cat. So a little bit kind of a sneakier play on DraftKings, especially because slot receivers get a lot of targets. That would be the guy I would go to if I wasn't going to Allen Robinson and I needed to pick one receiving target. Or if I was stacking, I'd stack these two guys with Nick Foles. That's why he was on the exclusion list. All right. So yeah, like this is an interesting lineup that it just produced. I don't know that I would do that. I probably, if I wanted Allen Robinson in the captain spot, I would have to begrudgingly put Nick Foles right there. And with Napoleon Dynamite in there, I probably want to get rid of David Montgomery. You gotta get some salary somewhere anyway. Give me some Ryan Nall, just to be a little different. Okay, we got Scotty Miller. So that's a nice little stack, but maybe what we do is we get rid of Mooney and we take Evans, something like that. So basically Foles is going to throw to Robinson as third down back Nall. Jimmy Graham, good red zone target. We're going to bring it back with Scotty and Mike Evans. That's a solid lineup right there. Okay. Let's try and make one for FanDuel, and we'll get out of here so I can go on drinking tequila. Boom. Let's put it on single game, please. Also, I'm telling it to play GPPs. So, tournament lineups, you want greater differentiation. Obviously, when you're playing cash games, which is what I generally recommend on a main slate, but on a showdown, it's actually probably better to play a GPP. You just got to get a little more original with the GPP. Take some of those shots, man. You got to risk it to win the biscuit. So, okay. They like Allen Robinson here, too, for FanDuel, but there's no fucking way that I'm playing Allen Robinson in the captain spot with Tom Brady as a stack. That's how I want to go. Actually, on FanDuel, probably what I will do is closer to something like this, where I take TB12 up top, take Scotty doesn't know, and Evans with Rojo and Montgomery. There's a great lineup for a tournament. You're leaving a bunch of salary on the table, so you've differentiated yourself. Yeah, or actually, maybe instead of Montgomery, you go with Allen Robinson. Better bring back. That's a good sea of fucking Broham bucks right here. Little bring back with Allen Robinson. I like that. So yeah, that's how we do it, man. We just drink tequila, make lineups, whatever the fuck. Look, don't risk more than you're willing to lose. And, if you really want to win money, you have to take chances. You have to be willing to lose all of your entries every day. If you're just playing for mint cash, that's fine. That's how a lot of us start. I do that on some cash plays on Sunday. I usually try to make some less volatile lineups, some safer bets to cover my entries into the GPPs. But it's the GPPs, the guaranteed prize pools, that pay out so big up at the top. So that's usually what I'm chasing. But you definitely need to check out my tutorials. There'll be links down below if you're not familiar. Understand the difference. Game selection super important. Tournament selection super important. I highly recommend 3 max and 1 max GPP tournaments. Just make the best lineup. That is your best lineup against everybody else's best lineup. It's not your lineup versus some pros 150 lineups like in the Millie Maker or a lot of these other ones, these mass entries where people spend 40 hours doing crunches and looking at ownership, and then an hour before lock they get the updated ownership and they pivot off of the high owned people and use optimization software to really crank out a million different variants, and it's very hard to compete against that. You can. I mean, I mint cash in those all the time. I mint cashed on I think on Monday on one of them. It was like a $10 entry and I got 15 back. Ooh, but it's you're much less likely. It's very, very highly weighted money at the top of those tournaments, and you're very unlikely to win those tournaments. You have the same odds as winning a fucking lottery. So yeah, that's what I do. I like to stick to single entry and 3 max. Maybe I'll do a 20 max, if I'm feeling like I got an edge on something, and build an optimization around a core that I know I have an edge on. Kind of like the Rex Burkhead play a few weekends ago. No one was really talking about him. But yeah, that's what you do. Hopefully y'all win some money. Cheers. Thanks. Please like, subscribe. It helps. Comment. Tell me I'm a tool. I know, but it could always be reinforced. So appreciate y'all. See you again.